Most sight loss charities were founded about 100 years ago when people were coming back from the trenches. We are here for everybody with sight loss. We can help them get over the difficulties that they face on an everyday basis, and we do this with practical advice and the gadgets and gizmos that are in this room.
This is our resource centre where we sell a whole load of talking clocks, watches, magnifiers. The idea is you put the yellow thing on the cup and then you pour your liquid into the cup, and when it reaches the bottom of the prongs it will beep to indicate that the cup is full. I wanted to get back into the workplace. I hadn't worked for a long time. I'm visually impaired, so I was quite anxious about how I could do that. My eye condition is called Stargardt's disease. It's a similar thing to macular degeneration in that I losing my central vision, and it's a different disease, but the outcome is much the same. Because it's my central vision, it makes reading almost impossible, face recognition very difficult. I have periphery vision. Since working here, I've been lucky enough to have lots of help, and I've got amazing software on my computer. I have talking glasses and magnifiers. The use of technology has been fantastic.
Somerset Sight is designed really to keep people independent and to keep them so that they can do as much as they possibly can. We have a team of more than 300 volunteers, 12 members of staff, 6 of whom are part-time and 6 of whom are full-time, and without whom we could not manage.
Working at Somerset Sight, it's quite life-changing. My confidence is grown. It can be quite scary when you know you're losing your sight, but it also enables me to help other people that are just suffering similar things, and it would be nice to be able to encourage people who are working age to get back into work. There's a little button and you peel it off like that, and you can attach it to, well, for example, if you want to know you're using a black pen, you can attach it to the top.
Peer support is a very important part of the services we provide. We have an emotional support service which helps people when they're newly diagnosed, and that helps not just the person who's got the diagnosis but also their friends and family.
You get people ringing up who sometimes having a sight problem. They just need to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about.
The mobile advisory service bus that goes round is a great way of reaching out to everybody in the rural areas, because it's not always that easy to get to Taunton if you live very rurally. It has, with the bus services being cut so much, it is very difficult for a visually impaired person to get around.
Somerset Sight do a lot of activities that are designed for people who are visually impaired. They love to do the same things that other people do. We know that what can happen is people become very socially isolated, and so we try to encourage as many people as possible to take up these different offers. The offers are normally designed by people who are visually impaired themselves, and they tell us what they would like to do. So we have regular bowling trips, we have tandem bike riding, we have acoustic rifle shooting, walking, deep sea fishing, canoeing, bowling, guitar lessons on a regular basis. We have many members of staff here who are members of the VI cricket team who go round the whole of the country playing against other people who are visually impaired. And we also take trips to places like Weymouth in the summer where you can go on the beach and have an ice cream and fish and chips. There are lots of different things that people want to do, and one of the main things is that they actually meet their peers so they can exchange tips, and then they can actually enjoy each other's company and do things together.
For me, as well as being useful, it's a social thing for me, and it's like a family.
The volunteer visiting service is a lifeline to some people. They look forward to that visit, it's invaluable, and I get to hear how much it means to people. The belief I have that I can do things now, whereas before it was, I can't do it, so I won't do it. But now I think, well, I can't do it yet, but very quickly I will be able to do it.
One of the most exciting things that we have recently started with, and we had support from the Sport England for this, is an acoustic rifle shooting.
Somerset had already got an acoustic rifle shooting club established. There was a guy down there, his daughter had fallen off a horse, and the impact of the fall had taken her sight. She became totally blind and obviously very depressed and devastated. He tried to get an activity where she could kind of get back out and take part, and he discovered the acoustic rifle shooting. So Somerset Sight were invited to go down for a demonstration day and have a little shoot. We kind of really liked it, and then we applied to get some funding to have our own equipment. That's why we're here today, shooting, and we're shooting in leagues at the moment. So we're all very, very keen and quite pleased of how we're all getting along.
So my name is Ashley. I am a volunteer assistant for Somerset and Dean Shooting Club. My responsibility, I suppose, as a volunteer here is that I am sighted for a start, so I have, I'm there to help guide the visually impaired users of the club to fully access the opportunities here.
So I'm extremely proud of our team and our helpers. We've got Ron and Ashley. We couldn't do this without they put our equipment together and give us lifts to and fro. So without them, we couldn't do this. But I'm extremely proud of the fact that it's our first time into a league, and I know we're in kind of like the mid-range divisions at the moment, but it does look like that a couple of our members are going to come out with the gold and silver medals of winning their league this year. So for our first year in, I think that is absolutely fantastic. And from there, I can only see that we're just going to go further and climb up to be a bit more competitive in the higher divisions in time.
The rifle shooting that is amazing. People are blindfolded and shoot at things, which is, you just wouldn't think that would be possible for a visually impaired person to do. So it's very inspiring to see people that can't see an awful lot at all to go out and have that weekly activity.
Some people have different levels of visual impairment, and so it's the way to make it fair for everybody is to make sure that everyone is blindfolded when they compete in the actual competition in the league. Therefore, to make sure that it's even and fair for everybody concerned, regardless of their level of visual impairment. We have a target at 10 metres from the gun. The guns that we use from 10 metres away, they have a sight, and that sight is not your normal sight you would expect to see on a gun. It's a sight which will detect light. It creates a sound in your through your headphones, which that sound enables you to pinpoint where you are in relation to the target. The closer you are to the bullseye, the higher the pitch it emits, to the point where if you're right in the bullseye, it emits a very, very high pitch.
So if you're out on the outer circles, you get a very low buzz. As you move closer in, it gets higher. So you've got to try and find the high pitch to get the centre.
Guiding yourself entirely by that sound in your ears and shooting as accurate as you can to the bullseye when you hit that high pitch or in that high pitch zone, which is where you get the highest scores from. That's the basic principle at play. So it's really about relying on your sound and your ability to hear completely, and hoping that if you press gently on the trigger, you'll get as close to a 10 as possible. It's fun and friendly, so it's a combination of sort of competition, but also socialising and just having a bit of something unusual to your week.
I like the social side of it, and I like the competitive side of it. I'm a very competitive person, and I just like to kind of challenge myself.
And enjoyment. It's an afternoon out for me.
It's a little bit different, there's football around and 10-pin bowling, so acoustic rifle shooting, blind people and guns sounds brilliant.
I always say to people, we're doing these activities like canoeing, horse riding, give it a go. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. At least you can say you tried it.
This is a poem written by a visually impaired marksman. A Shot in the Dark by John Hearn. When I was first told of dark, I was curious, it's true. Blind people? Firing rifles? This I had to do. I came, I tried, I fell in love. It was brilliant and great fun. To hear the shock in people's voices. A blind person with a gun? We meet each week to practice, trying so hard to improve. Wait until the sound is loudest. Make sure the rifle doesn't move. We enter competitions, win some prizes, some acclaim. Being as good as sighted shooters truly is our aim. Dean Air Rifle Club always hits the mark. Blind people firing rifles? Yes, that's us, in the dark. These niche sports activities, like I said before, just allows you to do things which otherwise wouldn't have existed 25 or 30 years ago, and it really broadens and enriches people's lives.